sharing it to all of the places. Sharing it to all of the places. So, in continuing to share the chaos, right? Because that's what this is all about. And be fully transparent, today I am live from a park. Because clearly these children need an outlet other than running around in circles and diving off of furniture, right? And I put a post up yesterday about parenting and about mothering and about judgment, and I really want to take an opportunity to talk about that while I allow these boys to run off as much energy as humanly possible before I feed them lunch and give them naps today.
Hey!
Yes.
I was getting the hang of it doing the monkey bar.
You were getting the hang of it doing the monkey bars? That is awesome. So, the work that I do has predominantly been with women and children. And I enjoy the work, especially with the young people. They are so much more open to exploring who they are and working through how they may interact with the world, and the excitement of knowing the impact that they can have and how to manage themselves in situations. And I can share, and I have, and I will again eventually share some of the feedback I've gotten from young folks that I work with, right? The newest thing that I have offered is for families. And I'm not sure how you define family. I'm not sure anyone knows how to define family anymore, because we are in such a different time compared to what we all imagine family looked like, right? So what does that mean? That means I've been married twice. I've been divorced twice. I have 4 kids. They all have different dads. My children and I are my family unit, right? Maybe it's you and a spouse and some children. Maybe you're in a same-sex relationship with some children. Maybe you're a single parent with some children. Whatever family means to you is what your family is, right? But there's also still this expectation and social stigma that goes with people's perception of what it means to be a good mother, right? And I think this is stemming because I was triggered by a conversation that I had. I did some work for a beautiful young woman, helping her better understand herself, her energy, and then how it impacts her household, and then each one of her children and how that impacts their household, what they need that's different from one another, and how to honor that. So this isn't necessarily me telling you how to be a good parent, or what a good parent is. So, but I want to be clear that there are some things about parenting and expectations and being autonomous people that we really need to have a realistic conversation about. How about the fact that everyone who is a mother is also a human, a person, someone with their own needs, someone with their own desires, an autonomous human being. And when you're a parent, what you're doing is raising other people. And when we start to consider that our children are actually their own autonomous beings, their own people, and we need to understand who they are and how they operate and help them be seated more fully in that. I'm not talking about, do you have rules for bedtime, or do you have rules for when kids pick up their bedrooms or chores? That's all, up to you. I'm talking about understanding who your children are and honoring that and helping them be in a better position to be autonomous, own their power, and really thrive. And this hit me a few years ago like a ton of bricks, right? So I started learning about human design, and I started studying human design, and then I started convincing everyone that I knew to let me, do their charts and really hone my skill set in human design. And then I started taking classes, actual real life classes in human design. I mean, I've got hours and hours and hours of study going into this. And then I just started having conversations with people, and the coaching that I do just actually grew out of that, out of having really good conversations with people, and then them saying, wait, I think you can help me. So one of the things I delved into when I started this was looking at my family, looking at my children, looking at my grandchildren, and trying to figure out how this all worked for us as a unit, which I did. And so then what made things interesting for me is, as I learned about me and who I was energetically, and my kids and my grandkids, we are all, in my family in particular, generators and manifesting generators. So we all have sacral energy, except for one person. And I'm just at this point talking about my immediate family, my 4 kids and my 2 grandkids. And so then I was intrigued and really wanted to deep dive into learning about what things we needed to do to honor the energy and the strategy of the one non-energy type in the group. So I am a manifesting generator. My 2 sons are manifesting generators. My 2 daughters are generators. I have a manifesting generator grandson, and I have a projector grandson. And it became something really, really important to me to understand how he was different, why he was different, and what we could do to help him fully blossom in his autonomy, in who he is and what he is and how he operates. And that's what has become passionate for me. That's what has become important for me. I also firmly and fundamentally believe that we create our reality, and there are no rules except the rules that we make for ourselves, right? So I'm telling you, like I said in my post, if people are looking at you and trying to put rules on you for what it looks like to be a good parent, maybe just fuck that. Maybe, just maybe, you learning your children and understanding your children and honoring your children is more important than your children being seen and not heard, is more important than your children being able to be little puppets on strings that you are trying to manipulate into and conform into, condition into some behavior that really long term isn't going to serve them, because it isn't, right? So as I had this interaction yesterday, and I explained to this woman, so one of the things, honey, get out of there. Yeah, only stand on the edge. So one of the things that I saw and I asked about was one of her children being a very picky eater. And sometimes when I do these reports, I get those, those, oh my God, I can't believe it's like you're looking in my windows. No, it's just, there are some things that are just there that you can see. And so she confirmed for me that yes, indeed, this one particular child was an extremely picky eater. And I let her know that I saw some of the same indicators in one of the other children's charts, and that particular child is much younger. Here, sweetheart, have some water. And so while that child isn't, eating meals yet, that she's going to see the same behavior. And I said, just know that if for a whole entire week he just wants to eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, know that that's okay. Know that you have a child who's probably going to only want to eat once or twice a day, and you have a child who's probably going to want to eat 3, 4, 5 times a day. Just based on some of the things I see in their chart, and that our children will naturally lean toward what's best for their body and what they really need. And her response is really what provoked the post from me yesterday. I responded to that, and her response was like this huge sigh of relief that she really wasn't doing anything wrong by allowing her children to be that way. There is no dinner time. There is no, those are constructs that we've created that don't really exist. So let them go if they don't work for you. Let them go if they don't serve you in your household. Let them go if they don't serve your children in a way that is helpful, right? Play nicely, Chatty. Play nicely. Thank you. Blake, Chatty would like you to come play nicely with him. So I say that to say, if you have multiple children and one child wants to eat carrots for breakfast, lunch, and dinner for a week, let them honor what their body is telling them they need to have. I don't believe in force feeding children. I believe in offering them options, but there are children who need their food to be deconstructed. There are adults that need their food to be deconstructed, that need to have, to choose, okay, I'm going to have a little bit of this, I'm going to have a little bit of this, I'm going to have a little bit of that, right? Begin to learn about what it is they need. They're telling you. And you putting something in front of them and making them sit there until it's gone isn't serving them, and they're not learning anything except to be conditioned into behavior that does not honor the truth of who they are. That's what it does. It's conditioning. So I am giving you all of the permission you ever need to recognize what your children are intuitively telling you they need. Know that it's okay as a parent to honor that. Know that it's okay as a parent if you have a child who's a manifester. And let me tell you, I've worked with some young men, and the youngest girl that I work with is going into 2nd grade, and she's a manifester. And she is a force to be reckoned with. She knows her mind. She knows what she wants. And helping her parents learn how to help her manage how her energy impacts others has been huge, right? This is a small person who walks into a room and their energy will cause other people's energy, including adults, to sort of draw back, right? And then you want to give kids labels like, oh, she's bossy. Oh, she's precocious. Oh, no, she's a manifester. Let her manifest. Now, do you want to have guidelines around that? Absolutely. Do kids need boundaries? 100% they need some boundaries. You don't want your kids out there doing things that are going to inherently harm them or someone else, but you want to be able to give them a freedom to be who they are and be in their own truth. So, dealing with the girl who's the manifester, helping her parents understand that she can just go and do, and that's how her energy operates, and she knows what she wants, and she wants to go for it and be on her way, and how to honor that, and how to help her see her role and her responsibility inside of the family dynamic for the things that she has to contribute to the household, whether it's picking up her toys or picking up her room or making sure that she helps set the table, whatever those guidelines are, but helping her in a way that she owns her part in it, and that you've honored and allowed her to express her inner manifester by deciding things that she's going to do, by honoring her decision to want to go and do things, to let her tell you what she wants. And if there is no harm to anyone, Chatty, back up, baby. If there's no harm to anyone, then that's okay. Just give me that. Go get your brother and you can have these. Right? Or perhaps, like us, you're in a family of energy people, right? And all of us have a lot of sacral. Well, all of us have sacral, and that's big, big energy, except for my grandson Blake. And so his body is taking in and amplifying that energy from everyone else. Blake needs to have some time where he can be separate from other people. And he likes to do things. He likes to draw. He likes science. So giving him his time to, here you guys go. I'm handing out suckers now. I only have green. So you either want green or you want none. They're the same. Ha-ha. Now, please do not run with those and do not go down the slide with those. And knowing that with... Okay, you're already going down the slide. I'll hold it. And knowing like that with him being a projector child, they need to be recognized and invited, right? So he was in kindergarten this past year, and so I had a conversation with my daughter, trying to help her help them in their beingness, right? And I let her know he needs to be recognized and he needs to be invited. And so if you want your evenings after school to flow much more smoothly, when he gets home, ask him about his day. Hey, did you have a good day today? Tell me about it. Because when you give them the opportunity to be recognized, to be seen, and to share with you, you are disarming that energy that's going to build up and explode. So now, Blake, don't play with the tree, honey. Leave the tree alone. Because that's a baby tree, and it needs to get bigger before you mess with it. Is that he takes 10 or 15 minutes and he just spills everything, and she gets it and he feels recognized, and that energy dissipates and that need dissipates for him. And then he's not following her around the rest of the evening while she's trying to get the family ready and get some dinner together and do whatever things she needs to do to get ready for the next day, right? These are simple, practical tools. Very, very simple, practical things. And I'm telling you that the only things that matter are the things that work for you and your family. And I really don't care about other people's judgments about that. So I can be honest and say I have been parenting at this point, this summer, in just a couple of weeks, for 30 years. It's a lot of years of parenting. And then if you do the years of experience thing like they do at offices, if I take the ages of my kids and collectively add them together to give years of experience per child, you know, like, I don't know, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, almost 100 years of parenting experience if you use that random calculation that they use in business to tell you how many years of experience people have because one person has this much and one person has another, right? I digress. I say that to say that I started my parenting journey, number one, very, very young, and number two, very conditioned, and doing everything the way that my mother had done it and the way that people were telling me it should be done. 30 years later, I've learned a few things, right? And I've deconditioned as much of myself as I can, and I've been deconditioned in my parenting, and I've had experiences that taught me some very, very important things, and I understand more intuitively now how important it is to honor who kids are as individuals. Recognize them, see them, honor them, give them what they need, and know that you're a good parent if you decide to be a short order cook. You're a good parent if you decide that your kids get to all sleep in one bed because that's what they decide they want to do. You're a good parent if you let your kid eat the same meal every day for weeks on end. You're a good parent if you let your kids tell you what it is they want to do and you allow them to do it. You're a good parent when you decide what the boundaries are and you honor that and you're consistent with them. You don't need to be consistent for me or for her or for him or for anyone else. You honoring and being consistent for you and for what's going on in your household is what's the most important. So, I just needed to talk about this, right? I needed to share this. I needed to make sure that whoever needed to hear this hears this, that you are enough, that showing up, loving your children, providing them with a safe home, right? Safe. Providing them with food to eat every day. And it could be what they want and it could be what they don't want. We can have a conversation about socioeconomics and what people are feeding their kids and how people are able to feed their kids and whatever. But if your kid wants a peanut butter and jelly sandwich every day for 2 weeks, you are winning at the grocery store. And it's not hurting anyone. And if you feel like you need to maybe give them a multivitamin, a kid's chewable multivitamin, I don't know how good they are. I don't know what multivitamins really, really do for kids. Chad, that's not how the slide works, sir. That's not how that slide works, sir. Okay? If giving them a multivitamin makes you feel better about them eating the same thing every day, day in and day out, then give them a multivitamin. But know that preparing children to be in their energy, preparing children to make decisions for themselves, preparing them to honor their strategy and authority is going to create leaders and community like the world has never seen. And that's what this is all about. This is about us doing better for the next generation because we know better, right? And when you know more, you do more. It's understanding what you need and respecting and honoring what you need, while also respecting and honoring what your children need. They are worthy of your respect. They are worthy of your consideration. They are worthy of being able to make some decisions for themselves. They know what is and is not good for them at a gut level, at an intuitive level, because they haven't been conditioned to the place where there's so many rules and regulations that they don't listen to their own inner guidance anymore. And they have inner guidance, and it's probably better than your inner guidance. And if you can just let go of all of those expectations that you have of what people think you're supposed to be doing as a parent, and allow yourself to see and respect your child's inner guidance, you're going to end up with these amazing humans who are going to know how to take care of themselves and how to honor themselves and how to think for themselves. And I think that's, pretty important.
I gotta go to the bathroom.
It's right in that building, sir, right next to me. That's why I sat over here. So, that's it. That's my rant. That's my thing. You're not fucking them up if you let them eat the same thing all the time. You're not a terrible parent if you allow your children to be autonomous. Chad, excuse me. Chatty, I need you to stay over here where the swings and the slides are, sir. I can't hear you. Okay, when I'm done talking on my live, then I will come push you on the swing. Okay?
Okay, I'll go sit on it.
You'll go sit on it? Okay, he's gonna go sit on the swing. And wait for me to be done so I can come push him. So clearly that's gonna happen sooner rather than later. If you have questions that I can answer, and hey Jess, I see you hopped on. I have even more info to share with you. A projector, parenting, and energy type. All I'm saying is these strategies and ways of raising children that we all believe to be true to conform to societal norms are not what we have to do for our kids. They're absolutely positively not. People don't have to like how you're raising your children. People don't have to understand how you're raising your children. Because quite frankly, it's none of their damn business. And if you are in that place where you are ready to start deconditioning you, right? And begin to honor your strategy and your authority, and more than that, understand what your children, your grandchildren, your nieces and nephews need from you in an energetic way, then I have a way for you to work with me and to learn about these things and to deep dive into that, because this is how we continue to make it better, right? This is how we prepare our children for the changes that are coming societally. And this isn't me getting into a huge political rant, because I don't do that anymore. However, we all see the shifting of the things going on around us. We all see, the changes that are happening in support and social programs. What we are going to need are people who are thinkers, people who understand inherently what is right for them, and people who can care for themselves and one another in a way that is meaningful and honors each other. And so when you're ready to dive into that, when you're ready to begin to deconstruct all of the conditioning that has you parenting in a way that you think you should parent, rather than a way that honors the truth of who you are and the truth of who the kids are, let me know. I'm here for you. I'm here to work with you. I can help you out. And so that's about it. I am again here at this park praying that these children are ready to eat and drop from exhaustion after we play for a while. And I have to go push Chatty on the slide now, on the swing, because I told him I would as soon as I was done, and so he went and sat to wait for me. I'm gonna go do that. If you have questions, let me know. I'm happy to answer them. I have dropped links I've been posting. I will share some more information based on energy types, about human design. What I'm telling you is there are modes, methods, and processes for working through your shit so that you don't create shit for your kids to have to work through. And I'm here for that. You guys have a great day. I will talk to you soon.